How did you first decide to actually be a drummer?
Well, my IQ was...
Come on.
They said, what do you want to do? I said, be a musician. They said, no. I said, all right, a drummer.
That's another joke.
Another joke, yeah. What was the question again?
How did you first decide to be a drummer?
As opposed to musician. I've got a very short memory span.
Sure. Who are you guys?
So, first question. No, I was actually, I wanted to play the drums when I was 5 years old.
Right.
I don't know why. In fact, I think, well, I know actually, that when I was 3 years old, my uncles gave me a drum. And I remember, it's funny how you get these little, your shutter goes off. Sometimes in life you take a photograph of an event, and you don't know why, because the other person with you or other people with you may not take the photographs at the same time. So it's not important to them, but it's important to you. The photograph went off. I was 3 years old, given a drum. That's all I remember. Apparently, I did play with it long after the normal kind of, the sort of interest span. And then to the point where when I was 5, my uncles made me a drum kit. And at that point, I was deadly serious. Never wanted to be anything else for the rest of my life.
But a drummer.
But a drummer. I had a very low ambition. Very low ambition to be a drummer. And I just went from getting that to buying a drum from a friend when I was 10. And I sold my train set when I was 12. And for years I thought it was my train set. Yeah. And about 10 years ago my brother said, you know, it was my train set you sold, don't you? And I wonder why he hated me all these years, but I sold his train set to buy my first drum kit. And from then onwards, of course, then the Beatles were about 2 years after that. There was no
turning back.
No turning back.
You chase to have the title of drummer. You don't like people to call you the singer, Phil Collins the singer. You like to be called like Phil Collins the drummer.
Well, it's a defense mechanism actually, because I'm a really, really good drummer. I'm only a good singer, and I'm only a good songwriter. So my strength is really my drumming. So I prefer to think of myself as a drummer that sings, or a drummer that writes songs. You know, and I'm getting more. I'm becoming more aware of this and philosophically resigned to the fact that that is really where I am, which is why I want to go back to my big band. You know, I like doing everything that I do. Everything you've heard from me, I've always been very proud of. I've never released anything I'm not proud of, but it's a learning process. You're actually learning all the time to get it better. Whereas with drumming, I kind of felt, even though I'm still learning, I got that so early on that that's part of my.
Can you give some names of the drummers you think their history? No. Drummers they write history. I mean the great drummers you think that.
Yeah. Well, I mean the guy that I've heard but I've never seen, of course, because he was in the 20s, was a guy called Chick Webb. You know, he was about this tall, and he had a hunchback, but apparently he revolutionized playing of the drums. But then there was, Buddy Rich, who started playing when he was 5 years old, or less even. When he was, I think he was about 2 years old, he was on stage. But Buddy Rich was an incredible drumming talent. Sonny Payne was one of my heroes. He played with Count Basie. Tony Williams, who played with Miles Davis, who is now unfortunately dead, Tony. But Billy Cobham, Stuart Copeland, Ringo, Keith Moon, Ginger Baker. Yeah, a lot of names. I could go on, but I won't.
You said before that you like to move on. You do move on, but
no, Lewis.
Jim Krupa. Yeah. But you do tend to go back.
What?
All right.
Come on, I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
No, please don't.
We're never going to shut up.
And then you tend to go back a little bit. I mean, you did go back a little bit with Brand X a couple of years back, and not a lot of people know that. And I mean, to be honest.
Back a little bit, you mean back to the drums?
A few years ago, no, back to Brand X. You did a guest appearance with Brand X a few years ago.
Oh, we got him. We got him. We got him.
Did I?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yeah. I mean,
on a record.
On a record after you'd left the band.
Yeah, I left in like 1981, 82, and there was some stuff left over.
Okay. Perhaps this is what
and I haven't played with the guys since then.
Oh, right.
But there have been, you see.
That's what they did.
He got us.
But no, there's a live album that came out, Live at the Roxy. That came out from a show that we did in '78, and or between '78 and '80 in Los Angeles. And then there was other compilations. The best of the
used and released.
Very short record.
A one-sided 7-inch single, perhaps. No, we're joking.
But you know, there's lots of stuff like that that we recorded an awful lot of stuff. You know.
And then you did go back a little bit to Genesis, to the Carpet Crawlers.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, I left the band in '93, here, and we were always going to put a box set together, which we talked about before I left, even a long time before I left, and then that was delayed, and this idea for Carpet Crawlers was actually going to be put out with that. And then, of course, that came out, and, getting 5 people like us together in one place is impossible. So the only time we've been together, in fact, was for some photographs for the box set. But we did it bit by bit. Tony and Mike and Trevor Horn, the producer, did some stuff, and then Peter sang. I did some drumming on it, did the backing vocals, and then Steve did some guitar. And then about a year later, it still hadn't been finished. And so they said, would you do some more singing, because the other one's sort of worn out.
Drifted away.
Yeah, drifted away, got cobwebs on it. So I went and did a lead vocal track, and I did the 3rd verse. And it came together like that. I mean, I know a lot of people think, the 5 of them were in the studio together, but it actually wasn't like that, unfortunately. I mean, we love each other very much. We're still great.
Gotta be always in love, like great music, play great the drums, whatever you do, do it great.
No, I don't believe that you have to be miserable to write sad songs. I don't believe you have to be happy to write happy songs. I think you just have to have the emotional... The more you've experienced in your life, the more wider your capabilities are going to be in practice, and also theoretically when you're sitting down to write about an emotion, When I wrote You'll Be in My Heart, which is a mother to a baby, a mother ape to a baby, I'd done that with my own children, sung to them to try to keep them quiet on an aeroplane, try to keep them quiet in a car, because, they've been in the wrong place in the world when they should have been asleep, So if you've had those emotions, you can always pull on them.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks very much.
The lease has run out and the car's been towed away.
Jammin', I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming.